Hey guys, we're gonna start soon. Tell your friends and get your notes ready. Shit is about to be informative. Now, ooh, 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 ooh. Hello everyone. What is up? What is up? What is up? What is up, my gram family? Everyone out there in the chats, thanks for joining once again. It's like, let me just arrange this. Gang, gang, hey, small B in the chats. My baby, how are you, man? We got Adam, we got Nandis. Hell yes, we got the fam out there. Hello everyone, Helion, yeah, Felix, Antoine, lag free. Everyone in the chats right now. Gunnar W. We're out here providing some new content for you guys, as always. You know how we do here on GRAMGREENECAM television. Before we begin, make sure to give a like to the stream. Let's do that. Share. Tell your friends we're out here doing some education. Yeah. So it should be fun. Thank you everyone who tuned in last week to the dub plate need to know guide. Pretty much what we went over everything: leaks, rips, how to acquire plates, how to know if they're a plate or not, all these different things. And the reception's been great. And a lot of people have been hitting me up saying that they've learned a lot, and that was pretty much the main goal. And I'm very glad that people have enjoyed it. And I just see this being like cornerstone for people just starting off in the future. They know where to go and whatnot. So today, what do we have on our feet? Woo! Nike SB Dunks, Blue Heroes. Nothing too crazy, but they are from, let me see, I forget what year this is from. May 8th of 2013. Check this out. You guys have shoes that look like this after 7 years? I don't think so. You got to maintain your shoes, guys. You got to clean them. You got to make sure they're good, because you spend money into it. I love all the sneakers that I have. Some of them I wear, some of them I don't, and the ones that I do wear, I try to make sure they're always clean. Always. Oh gosh. Anyways, I just have so many pairs of sneakers. I just wear them when I stream. Okay. All right, I'm gonna do one more thing, and we're gonna get in there. Alrighties, we're gonna move ahead with the program, but before we start, I'm gonna do a little infomercial. So yeah, I remember. Well, I guess the main point about the yes, Felix, those Delasos were great. How are you, Co? Hey, we got the whole fam out here. Yes, I did see the Travis Scott and the PlayStation collab. It was in my radar. Maybe like 4 weeks ago, where they had like that little clip of Travis Scott doing that like PlayStation. They like panned out to those shoes. So yeah, we've been waiting for them. Apparently they weren't supposed to be a release, but guess they changed their mind. So yeah, tomorrow the SB Dunks, they're dropping. At the end of the stream, I might talk about what I'm gonna try to cop this week. We got a whole calendar. You already know. As you can see, last week, I only had one W. It usually by the end of the month is just all L's, so it just reminds me how much of a loser I am. But my success built off of failures, so this reminds me that it's just building up to something better. Coop. Anyways, so I'm gonna do some promo for the homie right now. If I can just find it real quick. Where is it at? There it is. So my homie Saiga from Brazil, his laptop is dead, so he's trying to sell some plates to make money. And you guys already know one of the best ways to acquire any exclusive songs is to purchase them from the artists themselves. And here he is offering plate packs. So if you guys are interested, go check out Saiga. This Saturday when we're doing the dishwasher set, we're gonna feature him. So we're gonna have a lot of songs from him. So it's gonna be super sick. But yeah, support the homie if you guys are looking for some new sick tracks. Check him out. He's doing some specials for y'all. And yeah, his plates are slapping, and I'm very excited to play them out this weekend for y'all. Another thing, we're doing like the featured artist of every week. So every dishwasher set, the first hour, I'm just playing brand new plates that I get from the homies. Last week it was Co and Ecto and Saunter and Joka, and there's probably other people I'm forgetting, but it was great. If you guys want to check out that set, it's still up for another day before I take it down. And yes, just trying to think. Tomorrow we have GRAMGREENECAM Rewind. If you guys are interested, we're going to be watching some old footage from 2018. It's going to be super sick. I love me my GRAMGREENECAM Rewinds. And yeah, so let's fucking get into this. This is why everyone out here is tuned in. You guys are trying to learn how the fuck can I stream, or how do I do it properly? Now, streaming has been something that I've wanted to do for years. I remember back in 2016, thinking about everything that I currently do now with GRAMGREENECAM TV. I wanted to do that back then, but I had no fucking clue. And from time to time, I would try to do the research to find out how to actually do it, but I never really got it underway until COVID hit, and I actually had a lot of time to really research and figure out how to fucking do it. Now, guys, I've done some pretty difficult things in my life. Streaming would have to be one of them. Nandis, my homie, he could tell you how much I suffered trying to figure out how to fucking properly stream. I would be on like one topic of streaming like for hours on end, trying to figure it out, changing all these settings, watching all these videos. It was so complicated for me to stream. And I'll get into why it was complicated, but at the end of the day, there's so many little details that go into streaming. You got to take into account your internet, the equipment you're using, the platform that you're going to be streaming on, what exactly you're going to be streaming. Are you going to be mixing, or are you going to be doing more of like a podcast style kind of this? If you are going to be mixing, you need an audio card and all this other stuff. So there's a lot of things that go into it that I am going to go over. So I'm very excited. We got our coffee ready. Dr. Professor Green is in session now. Take out your notes. If anyone has questions, please put them in the chats. I will answer everything as much as possible in the best detail as I can. Once again, I am not the 100% like source for all of this. This is all research that I've done collecting videos from YouTube, and at the end of the stream, I'll make sure to put the links down below of the videos that help me kind of like comprise all this. All right. I got my notes. Okay. So why am I doing this? One sec. Why am I doing this? Someone earlier in the chats mentioned, let me just reread it. And I take no offense to this at all, but it got me thinking. And someone was like, don't teach them shit. It's still underground. We don't need the mainstream touching Riddim, right? And that's a valid point. I completely understand where you're coming from with that comment. But although the Riddim is underground to some extent, especially the music that we usually listen to on this channel. But it is getting to kind of mainstream limelight where Riddim is something recognizable, where people don't even listen to, our music. They kind of like know, right? What I'm trying to do with this stream is provide people the proper knowledge to do this properly, where they're streaming our music and trying to, promote our culture and whatnot, and do it correctly. So what really grinds my gears is when I see people, and they have like a massive live stream with all these artists and whatnot, and they cannot keep a consistent stream going, where it's buffering or the audio's going out or this and that. And what does that do? The image of the artist, obviously, like and that's happened to me before when I'm watching a stream of me playing, right? You send in the pre-recorded set or whatever, and your heart drops. It's a cold feeling where so many people are in the chats, whatever, they're like really excited to see you play, and the stream starts to cut out, and then you're like, oh no, this was a sick part, and then that part is no longer there, and then there's more problems that happen. So in essence, what I'm trying to do here is give people the opportunity to stream quality stuff so that our culture, can be promoted in the best light possible. We have the technology. We have the time to do it. So why not do it to the utmost of our potential? I don't understand like how there's these companies out there that put in so much work into getting these massive lineups, but don't even look into the inner workings of streaming, where in essence, if you can't stream properly, what the fuck do you have that massive lineup for? Or if you can't stream properly, why are you like, there's so many different caveats that go into it. So yes, I understand what you're saying. Like, yes, we don't want Riddim to be mainstream and whatnot, but whatever is getting out there to the social media platforms, it should be good quality. I don't know. Is that just me? Because I always cringe when I'm going down, like, when I used to go down Facebook. I don't really use Facebook anymore. But I would tune into someone mixing and they wouldn't have direct audio. Just like, a pet peeve of mine. But it's just kind of like, this is just all my opinion, how I feel a brand should be, taken care of. And me doing this for a little bit, and kind of having some result where, I can actually show you the data, like this is what I've done and this is how far we've come. Kind of gives me a little bit of backing to support my claims. But in essence, you got to look at it. I would love for people in the chats to let me know who else in our underground world, or even in the Riddim sphere, who else is constantly streaming. And I'll wait for you guys to give me an answer. Right, exactly. There's no one else really doing this to the capacity in which I'm, streaming almost every day at this point in time. Yes, there's artists who stream here and there, but it's not a consistent kind of thing. So, Midnight Tea for sure, Fun Case, but I think they're kind of at a different tier where we are. I would consider them underground for sure, but they're definitely at a different ladder. But that's what I'm thinking. The underground, this dark, murky world we live in. Because I think a lot of it is Midnight Tea and Fun Case. They have a huge fan base, so it is kind of easier for them to have a platform for streaming and whatnot. So, and don't worry, we're gonna go into the equipment you need and how to do it on a budget. It's gonna be great. So, I just wanted to get it out of the way of why I wanted to make this stream possible. And also, it took me forever to figure this out. And I was wishing the whole time learning this that there was kind of like a guide in our world where someone was just like, all right, you got to do this, you got to do that, and kind of like, detailing everything. It's very hard to find that. You can't find that. This is the first place ever. So we're doing it tonight. But yeah, before I move forward, I'm going to go through the chats. What direction could you point someone in that's completely new to streaming? Or are there any videos you would recommend? Well, I think it's more or less like, what are you looking to do as a streamer? Are you trying to do music, or are you trying to like be more of a like podcast style, or are you trying to like stream video games? There's so many different things you can do with streaming. I think it's more or less like, what do you want to do? There's, I can recommend a bunch of things, but is that kind of like in your vibe of things? But yeah. Quality is always good, yes. But Festival Finesse, I haven't seen any of the streams, but I mean, like, yeah, I don't know, but I think more or less with the YouTube videos, probably for sure consistent, but he is not in the Riddim sphere, or if he is, it's not anything that I would, consider of value. Yes, thank you, Adam. I appreciate that. The growth has been great, 100%. But yeah, here we go. So those were my reasons why I wanted to do this. Kind of give everyone the opportunity to do it with quality. All right. So, first things first. We're going to talk about the equipment. Okay? The equipment is, before we go into the program, there's no point of having the program if you don't have the equipment to run everything. Boop, boop, boop. Now, I myself, probably for the most part of Graham Green, up until a couple months, I was very, it was definitely very difficult for me to financially be stable. Just because I had a lot of credit cards that I had to pay off, so there was never any room for for growth or saving or anything like that. So I was always living on a budget. So, I would use a GoPro. I had my Mac that I invested my money in like back 5 years ago that I just recently paid off this past summer. But yeah, I never really had the equipment to kind of make things happen with streaming. I tried my best to learn. I have let me show you. This is my baby. This is a ye old GRAMGREENECAM MacBook, right? This is what started it up. This is where all my music is. This is what I learned how to edit videos on. And this is the first place I ever streamed on, was through this laptop here. The MacBook is a very versatile piece of equipment. This is from 2015. Now, mind you, I kind of was shit out of luck. This was, obviously a great computer, but being from like 2015 over time kind of gets old, and there's new hardware, new software out there to make things easier. But regardless of that fact, I streamed on this Mac for a good amount of time. And a lot of people in the chats who followed me from the beginning of my streaming process, they could see that, I would use the camera from my Mac, the shitty like 720p kind of like camera that's built into the computer. And, it would be very laggy at times, a lot of the times if I'm trying to share something from my screen or, a bunch of things. It was just a mess. But over time, I kind of learned which setup is the best, or like on a budget, and also if you have money to invest. So personally, I have realized that streaming is easier on a PC than a Mac. Now, for the most part, I love a Mac. That's why I still have my baby. I still use it very often. Macs are great. But I did invest money into my PC that I use now to stream. The main reason was because of overheating. Yes, so that would happen a lot, where I would be in the middle of a stream and it would just overheat and shut the computer down. And in midstream, I would be freaking out because a lot of the time it would be during an amazing part and I would have to scramble. Like sometimes I would drive to my friend Nandis's house, who's like, 5 minutes by car, and then start streaming from his PC over there. It was a mess and a half. Streaming on a MacBook, maybe with a more upgraded version, may be easier, but I encountered a lot of problems. So I'm going to go through kind of like what to expect if you're streaming from a MacBook or even a laptop, because this can also apply to that. There's certain things that only apply to the MacBook, but here we go. If you're on a budget, you don't have something to invest into a PC tower, you have a MacBook, you can stream on that. There is a problem with overheating that may happen and whatnot depending on what you're doing. I was only running like Google Chrome and OBS, and it would like shit itself. So it depends, but you can make it work. My original setup was my MacBook, this Snowball microphone that I'm currently using, and my iPhone. So, and how do I use my iPhone? Well, one step at a time. With the Mac, it is difficult to stream with, but you can definitely do it. You can have an attachment of a webcam plugged in, or you can use already the stock camera that they have. One thing that I encountered that was very difficult is the audio that you would play off of your desktop. How would it play onto the Mac? So let me show you what I mean through example. I am going to switch over here. Let's see. Let's just go to like an old video of mine. Right. Let's go here. Cool. So I'm gonna. The audio is currently, so it's off on here, off there. Okay, here we go. So you see the audio should be playing, but it's not. It's not playing, right? It's not playing. So then what I would do, over here on OBS, just turn on desktop audio and then that's something I'm going to go into in more detail a little later, but this option here is already automatically installed into the PC. Like you literally install OBS or Streamlabs or whatever service you're trying to use, and the audio will literally just like work no problem. But with the Mac, unfortunately, they make it more complicated, and you have to download a program that creates an aggregate device in which you choose this one little thing. I don't even know what it is, but that way it can actually capture the desktop audio. Over here, this is one of the first links that I'm going to enter into description later on, but pretty much here, this is the video that I watched that finally I was able to learn how to actually capture the audio from my Mac and have it for the stream. You would think it would be a lot easier, but it's not. I'll put it in the chats for anyone who is interested. Doot. There you go. What's up, everyone? Thanks for joining. But yeah, this is a great video. This is the one that taught me how to do that. Overall, that was like the main issue that I had with the Mac. Another thing would be screen like capturing. So pretty much what we're doing now. That's something I'm gonna go into later when we go into the details of OBS and whatnot. But yeah, one thing I do recommend if you're just using a laptop or a Mac, to definitely get another monitor. It definitely helps to have two so that you can have OBS on one and whatever you're doing on the other monitor. You don't need that, but it does come in handy, and I think it puts less strain on the Mac itself or the laptop. Now, there are certain specs that your Mac and PC need to be at for it to run well. You need to have a good RAM and like decent RAM, decent graphics cards and whatnot. Later on, we're going to go into Twitch, and they literally give you kind of like a layout of the requirements of what your computer may need, and also like the internet stuff and connectivity and all that. But anyways, that's what we're going to get into soon, what OBS is, right after this point. So yeah, I was using a Mac. I had to stop using it because it overheated, and it didn't really, it just had a limit to it. Also, I was, the 24-hour shiver stream was going to happen, and I knew that my Mac would not be able to do 24 hours like that. So I definitely needed to buy a computer tower, and I did. And my computer tower is great. It's been an amazing kind of like upgrade for the streaming and whatnot. Over here, I'm also going to share with you guys. This is PCPartPicker.com. This is something Nandis showed me. Shout out Nandis. And pretty much you can build your PC here and see if, you know, all the parts and whatnot, what your specs are. And once you have it there, they give you all these different sites in which you can buy it from. In this page right here, you have everything already listed. So this is pretty much what my computer settings are, except for the power supply. I would recommend you getting something a little higher than 550. At least like 650 works. But I'm also going to put this in the chats for you guys to make it easier, because a lot of people do ask me. Boop. So yes, you can go check that out. That's pretty much my PC. Just get a better power supply. I have the link for the power supply too. This is all going to be in the description as well. I'm just putting it in the chats for you guys right now if you're interested. So that's the power supply you should be getting. You always would want it 100 more than the required amount, just in case. But yeah, once I got the PC, streaming and ended up being a very simple task. And you know, I do prefer streaming on a PC, on a tower. These settings or these like, you know, components work really well if you're trying to get into video editing, if you like to play video games, anything high powered. This computer is just spot on. And I think the price rate over time, the price did rise, because I think I got it for like $800, but this is like under $1,000, and not too shabby, let me tell you. Not too shabby. Another thing that you want to keep in mind, that streaming off of your Wi-Fi network is very difficult, but it is doable. But it is difficult in the sense where the Wi-Fi settings or the Wi-Fi connection isn't always stable. So it could, like, you know, go in and out. Another thing that I would highly recommend is using an Ethernet cord to connect right into your modem. So my room is threaded with all these wires that go to the other side where my modem is. And the internet is almost just as important as the equipment. So you can have this crazy tower set up and all this shit, but if your internet is fucking caca, I'm sorry. Like, I literally had to change up my internet service to make the streaming better. But yeah, internet is top essential. You need to make sure you have good internet. What's good internet? Well, I'll go through that with you right now. I go to speedtest.net. This is a website in which you can test your speed to see how fast your internet service is. So there's usually a threshold in which, good streaming should be at. Kind of forget, but there's a video that I'm going to link down below that gives you all that information for the technical things with the internet. I'm not good with math, guys, so I didn't really look into it because I didn't want to explain it because I know I'd probably explain it terribly. So I'm going to link the videos later on. But this is my internet, right? You just do this. So right now, upload speed of almost a gigabyte, which is overkill in essence for streaming. I think like if you have like at least 50, like at least 100 megabits per second, like you're good. You're good to stream. Upload is like 6. Yeah, this is this internet is overkill for streaming for sure, but it's good. You want overkill. You want to make sure that you have the best quality, and yeah, so that's that. Before on my Wi-Fi, I think I was running like with my other like internet service as well. I think the max was like 300 and like 100 upload or something like that. So it was bad. That's why it was like a lot of like problems with the buffering, with the streams and whatnot. It didn't look as clear as it does now. But yeah, that's that. So make sure your internet's good. I'm gonna put in the links, the description later on, the link for how to tell what the best internet kind of is for streaming. But you don't need overkill like this, definitely not. But yeah, we got that speedy boy shit. Yeah, I got tired of the slow internet, guys. I couldn't handle it. All right, so we did the PC, the Mac, the internet. Now we're gonna go into the cameras. So we're going through the equipment first, and then we're gonna go into the platforms that you need, because I feel like it's important to have the equipment before you start going into the streaming platforms. 666. Camera. So very important. How do you stream with a camera? What camera are you using? Whatnot. With my Mac, like I said before, I was using the stock camera at first. Now I use, get this guys, hold it, my iPhone. Yeah, this is currently my iPhone 11 being used as a webcam. What? Yeah, the quality is amazing. Like I said before, I was on a budget, so I was trying to invest money into a webcam. Actually, it was like $80, but during the beginning of the COVID, like quarantine, everyone decided to get into the streaming game, so you couldn't buy any. They were all sold out, and also like it was taking forever to get shipped overseas because of like the lockdown and shit. So I found a loophole in which you could use your iPhone as a webcam, and I'm gonna share it with you guys right now. So here we go. This is for you guys. I'm putting it in the chats. If you guys are ever interested in using your iPhone as a webcam, and this, like, we're gonna go through OBS. This is how we segue into it. But this is called OBS camera for OBS Studio, and pretty much you download this. It's a one-time fee of $15, and pretty much you are able to use your phone as a webcam. Amazing. Definitely when you're using it, you have to download this to your computer, and obviously the app as well, but it's very easy. And once you do that, you're able to add the source, and we'll talk about that later, how to add sources. But yeah, this is fucking amazing. And unfortunately, you cannot do it with the Android. No, this is only with the iPhone, and you can only use it with OBS and not Streamlabs. And we'll get into that, kind of like a reason why I still use OBS. But yeah, and one thing that if anyone wants to use this in the future, it's a great service. I've been using it since like May, honestly, and it has been amazing. Is there one for the Droid? Maybe there is, honestly. Let me quickly Google it for you guys. See, is that one in? Let me see. Someone put it in the chats. Let's see. Okay, sick. Yeah. So there's another thing. It is called the GRAMGREENECAM. Early access. I guess it's like a beta version or whatnot, but yeah, it's another service. I think this. I'm not sure if this is for both OBS and Streamlabs, but it looks like it might just be for OBS. Yeah, but cool tip right there. Check it out. GRAMGREENECAM OBS if you have the Android and whatnot. So that's what I use for the camera. I also have GoPros. I'm going to get into this for a little bit. But yes, I'm going to answer that question. And Helion, I will answer that question very soon. Yes, I have a whole topic on that. But yes, so I have GoPros. So I did this for a little bit. This is a GoPro Hero 8. Highly do not recommend buying this. This might be, we're going to see. Hopefully once things get back to normal, and I can do GRAMGREENECAM stuff, it'll have its like value. But this might have been one of the biggest L's of 2020 for me. Oh yeah, shout out to the shirt, Donnie Darko, exclusive ting. Yeah. But yeah, this was a complete fucking total L. This goddamn GoPro. You can use your GoPro as a webcam. That is definitely a thing. It took me a little bit to figure out how to do it. Do I recommend you doing it? If you have a GoPro laying around, yes, but the next caveat that comes into it is that you need to have a display capture card to make it happen. So if you want to use a GoPro, or let's say you have a DSLR, right, a Canon or something, or maybe even a mirrorless like a Sony Alpha A7S or something like that. You want to use this as the webcam. What you would need is a display capture card. So what is a display capture card? I'm gonna go through that for a couple minutes right now. Display capture cards are very important when it comes to using an external camera like this. If you're not getting a webcam, to be honest, if you have cameras laying around and you want to try it out, I would recommend probably seeing how the display capture cards work for you. But if not, then I might recommend getting like a Logitech 1080p kind of webcam. Those work pretty well. They range from like $80 to $100, and we'll go through that together here. But Amazon is always the vibe, to be honest. I love Amazon. Okay, so this is a display capture card. So pretty much what would it like this? Now, I know you guys are probably like really hesitant to be like, what the fuck? This is like $9, like $10 right here. This works very well. Now, is it the best? No, not at all. But it will work. It will get your GoPro working for $10. Usually they cost a pretty penny. Usually the best ones, like let's say this one, the Elgato game capture card. These are usually the best ones. Like if you have the money to invest, you would want to get something like this, because then it'll give you the highest quality of like display from your camera or whatnot. But it is kind of pricey. It's like $160. They could go to like $200 and whatnot, which is why I resorted to getting one of these, which worked well. Might have stopped working, but I'm not sure. I haven't really used the GoPro to kind of stream in a while. I only use it for the dishwasher set, and I'll explain that setup a little later. I did buy this one though. This one, the Lenovo, it was like 55, like $60 after everything. Pretty good. This is what connects my GoPro to my computer for the dishwasher set. So the quality I think could be a little better, but you obviously have to invest more money into it. But yeah, that's how, like, you need a display capture card if you have an external camera like a GoPro or a DSLR. That's kind of the only way it's gonna work. Now, Canon cameras actually just came out with a software update in which you can download this driver and it'll pretty much be able to read the camera from OBS. Now, I haven't tried it, but I hear it's pretty good. So maybe in the future I'm going to try it, but that's another option that you could do. But for the most part, you're going to need a display capture card like this. Now, another thing, if you have a GoPro from like, just laying around, or if you want to invest in a GoPro, I would probably recommend maybe like the Hero 5, the 6, 7 even, but like, I don't know, they're coming out with the 9 soon. The Hero 8 is a complete fucking sham, because, alright, usually that's all you need to be able to show what's happening, like use this as a webcam, just with any other GoPros like this, but they're fucking assholes and they make you buy this media mod, because this media mod is the only place that has the HDMI output in, or input. And you also have to buy the HDMI fucking cord for it. So at the end of the day, like, you're just spending so much money on different attachments and whatnot. And for the most part, the GoPro Hero 5 works so much better than this one when I'm trying to like live stream with it. So I do not recommend you getting this. There is an option where you can stream wirelessly using this. It's complete garbage. Don't do it. Save your money. Maybe the GoPro Hero 9 is going to be nicer. I might actually trade this in and buy the 9, because this is just not the vibe. All right, guys. Thanks, guys, for tuning in once again. Make sure to give this stream a like-a-rooney, share it around, subscribe. We're doing this every Monday, these info kind of things. And yeah, I appreciate you guys tuning in. Hopefully you're learning a little bit. If not, put some questions in the chats, and I'll answer them to the best of my capabilities. But we went down pretty much the equipment that you need. The last thing that I need to talk about is the microphone. This is a Snowball Blue Yeti microphone. Cost me like $40, and I've been using it since the beginning of the quarantine time, or since I started streaming in April. It's been good. I like it. Definitely want to invest a little more into something more high quality, something that looks a little better. But this is working completely fine for me. I would definitely recommend it for first time like streamers and whatnot. And if you have the money to invest into some nice microphones, which ones would you get? Well, let's see. There are a plethora of microphones. Like, what's one that I would get? Let's see. I was looking into this one. There's like another Yeti. Oops, sorry. This one's actually pretty nice. I want to get something that something's looking, something like nice looking. But yeah, I think the Yetis are really good. These are kind of like my go-to. But there are a lot of different companies out there. I have to try them out and see how they all are. But yeah, mic, and then I have this little kind of like stand that connects to my my desk, so I'm able to like just move it around and stuff. Yeah, so that's kind of how I started off. The only thing that I don't use from the beginning is my Mac. So the PC has replaced the Mac, but pretty much everything else I still use my iPhone from the beginning, and I use this mic. I have other cameras, as you can see. I have like 2 GoPro Hero 5s. I have a GoPro Hero 4. I have a GoPro Hero 8, and I also have a Canon like T80D. So I have a lot of things that I could use, but I find it the easiest to just use my phone, and it also gives me a reason to stay off my phone. If people hit me up and I'm just like, I'm busy streaming. So, but yeah, that's pretty much the equipment. And you know, when I started off, I already had my Mac. So I'm presuming everyone probably has like some piece of hardware to work with. So yeah, Mac. Then the phone. I already had my phone, so I just had to pay for the application. Buy the mic. So in essence, my initial investment into streaming was like less than $50. Well, we'll call it 60. Not pretty bad. Not bad. And we're not talking about the extra attachment. Okay, so extra attachment and a thing for my phone, like a tripod. Yeah, less than $100, like that. Not bad. Not bad. So you can start with the minimal amount of money, depending on the equipment that you have and whatnot. But I'm saying if you're like playing video games on your PC and your laptop, then you can stream. It's pretty, like, that's a good rule of thumb. Alrighties, so that's the equipment kind of section of everything. I think I went over it all. Usually best to have a dual monitor, like one or like two, makes it easier. But yeah, we're gonna get into the next portion. What happened to Yaks? Well, from what I've learned, Yaks needs surgery in the near future. So they're having a live stream, Sudden Death, Ulasile, Phonon, Ominous, Ace Aura, and yeah, they're doing the thing to raise money for him. So we're gonna be tuning in. Might do a Gramception, but I think if anything, we're gonna host the page, or I don't know, or I'll just send everyone there, something like that, or I'll get the link for their donation so that like if people donate to my channel, it'll just go right to them. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of doing. But yeah, here we go. Gotta get our notes. I hope everyone's taking notes today. This will be on the test. So the next topic we're gonna go in about are the two different platforms that you can use to stream. Now, I'm gonna go over the one that I use, that I've been using since the start, and then we're gonna go over the more popular kind of like industry standard one that everyone else uses, and I'll explain why I pick one over the other. So here we go. This is OBS Studio. OBS Studio is pretty much the platform that you use to stream. Through OBS, you would be able to stream whatever you're doing to various different platforms, such as like YouTube, Twitch, Periscope, Skype, the whole plethora of things. They have all the options there. And yeah, this is pretty much the program that I started off with. Very rudimentary, kind of like an old school fashion kind of style to it all. I'm just gonna put this here, so don't mind the perpetual kind of, you know, I'm just gonna take the main screen off because it's just like so cool to see the where is it at? All right, well, we want to keep that up because we want to look at OBS. So anyways, this is OBS. Gonna do the large screen, and then you can see me perpetually being, you know, repeated here. The reason this happens is because it is screen capturing what I'm doing on the left side monitor. So if I move this over to the right side of my monitor, which you like, you know, I can actually show you guys real quick. All right, so that's my the left side monitor. Here's the right side where OBS is. So there's no real like kind of like Inception perpetual kind of like interstellar looking shit. But once I move it here, and you guys are going to see, and this happens because I have it set up so that the display is capturing that side. So I could change the display and it'll capture the other side. So that's that. But I just wanted to do a quick explanation on why that's doing that real quick. We'll go into all the details and everything, but this is OBS. Over here in this section down here, let me just move my beautiful Donnie. Down here we have a bunch of things. Let me just make this a little bigger, just like that. Okay, this is the scene area. Over here, a scene is pretty much what you are going to be streaming. Here you can set up a bunch of things. I have a lot of different scenes. So as you can, dub plate thing. This is for last week. This is like stream starting soon. Right down here, this is usually what I use for feedback or when I just want the camera, kind of similar to the other one. So you can name it whatever you want. This is the one that I use for the dishwasher set. This is the other one for the chop cam, but it's not set up. But yeah, these are all different little scenes here. You're going to need them when you want to set up whatever you're going to be streaming. I like OBS. OBS is my ting. But does OBS, I'm going to read one of the questions. Does OBS consume a lot of your CPU? Well, so like with my Mac, whenever I would be using OBS, it would use at least like 30% CPU. With my PC right now, we're running at like 8.5% CPU. A little higher than normal. I usually run at like 6%, but I think it's because I have Photoshop open and Chrome. But yeah, I'm running at like less than 10% CPU, so it does not really take that much. And that's like not the CPU that that OBS is using. Is your computer in general. So yeah, but it doesn't really take that much. It depends on your graphics card and all that stuff. The more RAM you have, the better the graphics card, the less CPU you're going to be using. All right, so pretty much scene. If let's just make a scene for you guys just to see how it works. You just add a scene. We're gonna call it like class sesh whatever, and then over here we're back to nothing. You guys don't see anything. So if you have a good PC and your CPU goes to 80%, that means your settings were wrong. We're gonna go into my settings very soon, so you guys can literally copy and paste what I use as settings, and it'll probably help you out. But anyways, over here, so once we have the new scene down here, we have the sources. This area here is pretty much where you build kind of everything. You have the audio input, so this would be for if you have a mixer coming in and whatnot. You have display capture, which is what we were using before. So if I just put that here, so you can name a new one. You can name it whatever you want. Down here they're going to show you the existing ones that you have previously. So I already have it, main screen, so I'm just going to click that, and there you go. So the main screen. So once you see this perpetual kind of like loop, you're good. You are good. So once you do that, yeah, don't worry, you guys can't see anything because we're building the scene together. Yes, don't worry about that. So there you go. So there's the main screen. We got that. This is the display capture. Like I said before, if you click here, you double click on it, you have the settings, and it'll show you the two monitors that you're working with. Now if you're just working with one monitor, obviously you're just going to show that one monitor, but we're going to keep it here to that display one. That's good. So another thing here, so if you have a game capture card, so then you would be able to use, let's say you're using your Xbox or your PS4 or PS5 nowadays, or Xbox One, whatever the fuck, or whatever they call it, I don't even know. You're able to pretty much capture that. The next thing here, there's a bunch of things, so you can add images, right? Here's all the images that I use. If you want to look up an image, right, let's say like new ting, right, over here is gonna give you this browse option, and you can go through any of your files to find something. We're just gonna go here to what we have available. There you go, bang, this pops up. So now it takes up the whole screen. Over here, a really cool tip, if you don't want this to show up, you can always have it like so. Sometimes I'm gonna go through this again just to like show you guys. So let's say I want to add an image, but let's say I'm doing something, so I don't want the image to show up right away. So what I could do is just do new ting, right? Just press OK, don't search for anything, and these eyeballs here are gonna hide whatever you have. So over here there's a new ting. Obviously we don't have anything because we didn't choose a file, but we're just gonna put that eye so you don't see anything. We don't want it to see anything. And then we're going to go back to the new ting. Now we can browse for something. And now, when we open this up, it's not going to show up because it's hidden, right? So then you can rearrange it in real time, whatever size you want it to be at. And let's say there. So over here you have, your little cursors to show you the size and everything like that. The blue one is the one that you're not selected to. The red one is. And then we're going to show it. Bada bing, bada boom. There you go. So now you got an image there. Thank you guys. I hope you guys are learning. Stream key, the Elgato stream key is really cool. It's a lot of money. I don't have the money for that, but maybe in the future I'll definitely get that. Stream key is pretty much like you can launch things at different times, have everything organized and just press buttons. You can also have hotkeys on your keyboard to do that as well, and we'll go through that a little later. But yeah, anyways, so that's the image. Everything is pretty self-explanatory. Browser is something that I'll go into a little later when I talk about Streamlabs. You can also add a media source. So this is what a lot of people tend to do when they're like streaming a live stream with a lot of people playing. They usually add like the VLC source. So VLC is like a video player, or the media source, and they have it loaded onto this scene, and whenever they're ready they just like click onto the scene and it automatically start playing. I don't really like that method. There's a lot of room for error. A lot of the time you can't stop it if you start it, so we're not about it. But anyways, that's for later. I don't really use that. Over here, text, you can add text if you want. So the same process, you just name it whatever the fuck you want, press OK, and usually I like to, like I said before, use our little tip, hide it before it comes on the screen, and then we'll just put hi, bada bing, right? And if you want, you have, depending on what kind of fonts you have on your computer, you have all these different options of changing them up, like that. You can also give it a outline, which I like to do a lot, just so it pops out a lot more. You can select a color. So since it's a black background, we're going to do that. Right now it's only at 2. It starts off automatically at 2. Just bring it up a little bit more so it's more pronounced. There you go. Now we see it. Bam. Hi. There's a lot of different things you can do with the text, but just kind of like straightforward basic ting. Another thing that you can add to your source would be a video capture device. So this would be something like my GoPro. So I guess I'll set that up, but give me a sec. Before I do that, I'm gonna bring myself back. How do I do this? So let's say you're using your iPhone as a webcam through OBS. You have this new option down here. It says iOS camera, right? So you press iOS camera, and we're just gonna leave it at that. We're gonna create new from the start. And so right now you don't see anything. You don't see anything at all, but that's fine. You're gonna go to iOS device. It's gonna say none. If everything is working properly, your phone should come up. It's gonna be all these, like this weird serial number, and you click on that. Right? Click on that, and then here we are. Like, whoa, what's up? A lot of the time, if you already have it set up, you connect it to your computer. All you gotta do is either press refresh device or reconnect, and it'll like reset everything for you. Down here is latency. Latency is pretty much how the delay of things from the camera to the actual like streaming service is. Normal is I don't really like it. It's hard to tell the difference, but I usually use low latency, so there's very little delay. There you go. So now we're back. Here we are. So then if you see this whole image, I don't want this whole image. There's a couple tricks you can do on the PC. If you press Alt, it'll pretty much cut. So let's say I just want, we're going to like all the corners, bada bing, whoa, and it's just that. You press Alt, and then now I'm just a little piece. But a cool trick, if you press Shift, whoa, dude, I don't feel so well, man. I don't feel so well. Oh my god, what do I do? Alright, so Shift pretty much elongates it. It kind of like, It's not a good crop or anything like that. I look like I'm streaming from like Australia or something. But you can get it back. You know, you just have to like rearrange it. That looks good. Here I am. What's up, guys? So that's how you connect the iOS camera to your OBS studio. Very straightforward. A little tip that I have for you guys over here, you can tell these little lock things. If you press the lock, that means that this image will not move. And this comes in handy when you have a lot of things on the screen and you try to rearrange things. And then you accidentally like, oh, that one's... Okay, there you go. Yeah, you can select two at once, I guess, and then move them, yeah. If you want to select two at once, you know, make sure that's red, Alt, and then you move them simultaneously. But let's say you're moving things and you don't want to like rearrange something else. You just press the lock button over here. That's not going to move. That's not going to move. But that's going to move. It's all about one second, I'll answer those questions. Yeah, it's all about organization depending on how you want the layout. There's a lot of different layouts that are available that I'm going to get into when we start talking about Streamlabs. But we're almost through kind of like our rundown of how to make a basic scene, the basic layout for your OBS and Streamlabs. It works almost identically. Are you speaking with your mic? No. Oh my god, I am. Thank you for telling me that. Whoa. So that's another thing. Good thing. When you when you just connect the device, it'll have the audio already here, right? That must have sounded. Oh, that was definitely planned. See, you passed the test, bro. $100 to you, JK. Maybe one day if I'm really rich. But that's a good catch. Very good catch right there. Because, you know, if you leave it on. There's a setting in the iPhone itself that you would be able to turn off the mic, which I normally do. But I guess since I added the camera brand new, that's why the volume sounded like that. I wonder how it sounded like. I'm going to go back to the video and PA sound system. Well, it works with the vibe for tonight, right? We're out here in school. Alrighties. So that is, I think, is there anything else with the sources that I have to... so yeah, we talked about locking things, which helps a lot when you're trying to rearrange things. So it's not like, you know, you're not accidentally moving things and whatnot. But yeah. And if you ever want to hide things, you already got this. Boom, boom. So another thing that we can do, you can add a video capture device, right? And I guess I'll go through that with you guys real quick. So the way that my whole setup works is very complicated. But, you know, life is complicated sometimes. All right, here we go, guys. I'm going to show you how to add a video capture device real quick. So my decks are on the other side of the room. So give me a sec. So, like I mentioned before, my room is threaded with cables. Since I couldn't have my CDJs right next to me, I have them over there on my bureau. So I have a cable with the HDMI. It's about like 30 feet that, like, you know, goes around my room, connects to the GoPro down there. And also there is an AC port that connects to the GoPro, so I don't have to use a camera. There's a GoPro Hero 5. Like I said, the GoPro Hero 8 sucked. It was the worst. The GoPro Hero 5 works well. So right now the GoPro is on. The HDMI cord is connected to the display capture card that's under my bed. And then wraps around into my PC over here. Not everyone's setup has to be this complicated. This is just how the way my room is laid out. And then we go over here. Let me just make this a little bigger for you guys. All right. Whoa, look at us. All right. So we're going to go over here to the video capture device. So as you guys can see here, I've already added a lot of them, but I'm going to put poo-poo cam because everyone's talking about poop. And there you go. So with this is a little different. Can you guys even see the settings? Let me see. Let me see if I can. I wanna show you guys what it looks like, but it doesn't seem like I'm gonna be able to because it's weird. One sec. Which one is this one? Okay. Does it work? Okay. I'm gonna do this real quick. Because this is a very essential step for us. So I'm gonna change. Yeah. Whatever. I'm gonna change the main screen real quick to here. Hopefully this works now. And then now we're gonna add the video capture device. All right, and then see if this works. There you go. Cool. So then we're calling this poo-poo cam. Oh, it's already in use. Well, we'll use that one, right? Okay. Cool beans. Then now, I should probably just like remove this one. Yes. Okay. Over here, you're gonna have this one for properties of for poo-poo cam. This is when you're using a display capture card. It's gonna come up like this, a 3.0 video capture. All right. So for the most part, you can't really do anything with the settings, unfortunately. I think you can do more if you have a like a higher quality kind of display capture card. But to get everything back, we're gonna deactivate, activate, configure video. Forget how I do it. Is that okay? And then where's it at? Where is it going? Oh, I gotta make sure it's on. Give me a second. Okay, it should be working. If I could get it to work. Sometimes it don't work, and that's fine. Yeah, sometimes it might not work. Let me see. Well, of course. Oh, I think I got it. No, I didn't get it. Well, class. Unfortunately. All right, let's see if it works now. Let's see if this works now. I think I got it. No, well, let me just see it. Or else I have to fucking like, oh God, I have to do more brain surgery if this doesn't work. Oh, God, I gotta go through brain surgery. Well, God damn it. That means I fucked up somewhere. Good job, Milton. Where'd I go? There I am. So, seems like I fucked up the settings with my GoPro, and now I have to do some more brain surgery to figure out that whole dilemma and a half. But it's fine. You know, this whole streaming stuff, there's so much that goes into it. You're going to encounter problems like these. All right. Class, this is life. This is life. This is life right now. And the poo-poo machine is broke, unfortunately. The poo-poo machine is broke, guys. So don't, if you have to make poo-poo, just hold it in. Hold it in. Or, you know, make poo-poo. I don't know. But the cam is broken. The cam is, so don't worry. No one's going to catch you making poo-poo. Not this time. But yeah, that happens a lot. Before, you know, when I was doing the dual camera, it'd be like that, right? Like, I'd be streaming, and then out of nowhere, the GoPro starts working or some shit like that. It was just always something. But yeah. Anyways, like I was mentioning before, that's pretty much what you would need to do. Once you press that default, the camera should show up, and then you're good to go from there. But you know how I do. It's not, you know, some things don't work out. Anyways, that's pretty much that for that little ting. I'm gonna go back to our class session, because this is us. This is us, guys. We're building together. I'm gonna go back to OBS real quick. We're gonna change the display, so we're back here. Cool beans. We're gonna bring this down. All right. And actually, no, we're going to make this a little bigger, because I want you guys to see this over here. All right, so we're focused right here in this section down here. The this is why, like, if I ever become a professor and I teach at an actual school, I'm going to be the biggest dick ever. No, I'm just kidding. It's not going to be good for either the students or me, because it's just going to be a shit show. But it's going to be a good shit show. Anyways, this is the audio section. This is pretty much where your desktop audio, whatever you're playing on the desktop, that's where you're going to see the bars come up. This is the mic audio kind of thing. You really don't have to do much about it, but we're going to go through the settings together once I explain Streamlabs. But this is the setting in which I have my my mic. I don't have it all the way up, because if I had it all the way up, it would be screeching. And I used to stream with it all the way up, but then I would be clipping. And then one time, Infect was in the chats, and I was like, oh God. And he told me, like, yeah, you're clipping, you're too loud. I'm like, oh God, I'm sorry. So I brought it down. This is kind of like the good area for me. I feel like this is perfect kind of audio when there's a video playing and you can hear me clearly and whatnot. It's all like kind of playing it by ear, depending on like how you want to do it. But it's pretty straightforward. Once you connect the mic, the PC will recognize it. The only thing is that if you have a mic, you need to, a Mac, sorry, you're going to have to go through the audio settings and make sure that the input is the mic itself, because it doesn't automatically do that and whatnot. Make sure if you're using another camera like I was, the poo-poo cam here, you want the audio off, because you want the audio to come directly from the ports that you have. And yeah, so that's pretty much scenes, sources. It all depends on kind of what vibe you're looking for. There are layouts. My personal layout is custom made. I mean, it's not the craziest thing, to be honest, but like I like to kind of just have my own little vibe towards things. And yeah, this is like L'Amour Supreme. He used to be an artist for Mishka, guy who like made my tattoos and stuff. This is just a piece of his artwork that I just put in Photoshop, made a little border, made this thing by myself. You know, everything that I have is just all in-house. I don't ask anyone for artwork or anything like that. We just do it on our own. And you know, I know it's not the best, you know, but I'm learning as I go, and it gets better, you know. So let's play Among Us. No, sorry, I don't play Among Us. I feel like I don't know, perpetuates the idea to lie to one another. I don't I don't like that. I don't also like I play games, but I'm not much of a multiplayer game guy, unfortunately. I don't do well with multiplayer games. But I don't know, maybe donate $100 and I'll do it. That should be a stream. If you guys really want me to play video games with you, then you gotta have to donate because I don't really play video games. Yesterday we played Resident Evil 3. It's pretty cool. We're almost done with the game. Anyways, so that's kind of like the rundown of OBS. We're gonna jump back into the settings very soon, but there's just one thing that we want to talk about before we go into that. Oops. There is a Patreon, yes. I gotta update the Patreon. So much more content coming in, so I gotta get that done very soon. But thanks everyone who subscribed to the Patreon. As you know, as more people subscribe, I'm becoming more involved into it. But yeah, here we go. So this is the next section that I'm gonna be talking about. I'm gonna move OBS to this side now. This is Streamlabs. Streamlabs is kind of I guess the standard. Oh, what the fuck was this? One second, I'm seeing something. I see something. What am I seeing? I'm seeing something. Give me a sec. I think the GoPro's working now. I'm not even lying. I think the GoPro is actually working. I'm just trying to figure out what is it? Wait. There's so many things. Is it this one? Oh shit, we got the GoPro working, guys. Haha, suckers. Haha. You were like, haha, look at Dr. Professor Green doesn't know how to do his stuff. Bitches, what's good? What's good in the hood? We got it to work. This is how it looks pretty much. Got 'ems. No, just kidding. Just kidding. That's literally how it would be in class. I'd be like, gotcha, motherfuckers. You thought the poo-poo cam was offline, but it's not. Oh, my God. That's great. Wait, hold up. Give me a second. So, one sec. So you guys are probably wondering why I have, like, cups here. Well, they're all empty. I've just been practicing my beer pong skills. So, I've just been literally like from this side of my room. And this is it. One sec. I got it. I'm sorry, class. We're not moving forward until I make it in. Was good. Was good. Oh, was it actually working? I don't think it was working. One second. There's so many things. I gotta get more organized with my life. All right. All right. All right. Don't worry, class. I'm usually a lot better. You know? Sorry. Yes, ADH melted. Oh, God, I hate him. Hate him. Huh. Once my ADHD gets the hold of me, it's over. So thank you for putting me back on track. We're back. We're at it. This is This is Streamlabs. This is OBS. This is Streamlabs. OBS. Right? Towley is not high. No, he is not high. He's not feeling too well. So we got Streamlabs here. The fuck is Streamlabs? Streamlabs is an upgraded version of OBS. It's very integrated with so many different things. As you guys can see here, the chat is already popping. We have so like I said, Streamlabs very, very integrated with the chat, donations, all these different things. It's kind of already built into Streamlabs. They have a service that you can pay monthly, which I do. And I'll show you that as well. But Streamlabs works very similar to the way that OBS does, but it just has a ton of information. We have over here all the people that have followed, or all this different stuff, people who've donated. It's really interactive. It's really cool. I like it a lot. The only reason the beer pong, we should do that. We should do it. I'll win. But yeah, the one reason that I don't use Streamlabs, or I haven't transitioned to it, is because it doesn't allow for my iPhone to be a webcam, which really sucks. I wish they could update that, but I can't use my iPhone as a webcam. I can only do that through OBS. So yeah, I'm kind of stubborn. I'm like, I think once I get my batteries for my camera that I left somewhere in Brooklyn, I will transition to Streamlabs and just use my DSLR. But yeah, this is Streamlabs. I would highly recommend people using Streamlabs because they offer a lot of services alongside that actual. It is free at first. But let's say you want to have different layouts and all these different things. They do offer that for a monthly service. Over here, streamlabs.com, and you can download it for free here. And they have the Prime and all this other stuff. You can log in with your Twitch, your YouTube, whatever it is. And I'm just gonna bring you to the dashboard. Over here, you have all these different alert boxes. So let's say you have a new follower, new subscription, whatever it is. You have all this info here. I still haven't gotten to the bottom of all this stuff. It's kind of confusing, but I'm getting the hang of it. But yeah, all these different things. You have widgets that you can use. So if you don't want to make your own layout, they already have preloaded layouts that you can use. You can sell merch apparently through it, which is something that I'm gonna try to look into, but I'm not really sure. Different themes that you can download. For different if you're gaming, if you're doing podcasts, it's a really good service. It's $12 a month, but I think it's definitely worth it. And through this, you can also still use OBS, which is actually pretty sick. Let's say for the alert boxes and whatnot, they do offer a little. You see over here this little URL thing. We're just gonna press copy. All right, we're going to copy that, and then we're going to go back to OBS. Let me just bring us back here. And in the source section, like I said before, browser. In this browser section, we're just going to call this E, right? Okay. So over here, you can literally put in the browser, the URL that they gave you over here, copy it into here, and you'll have that available through OBS, which is actually very cool. If you still want to use the OBS, but kind of also use the services that Streamlabs offers. This is, you can do it for when people follow you. It'll pop up with a little image or a little audio kind of thing. If someone donates and whatnot, you can have that ready. There's all these different things that you can do. You can set up your donation. These are all the donation history. Thank you guys for donating, by the way. I love you all. If you haven't donated, please do. And if not, I have the merch shop that is open, so you guys can buy some merch. But this is also a tip page. So if you guys go to streamlabs.com/GRAMGREENECAM, this is kind of what you would be seeing. Obviously, you can tune it up and make it all really lively and stuff like that. But yeah, that's that. Streamlabs, definitely very versatile program. I would highly recommend people to get into that. OBS, another great program. Is just like for me and my current use, I need my webcam, which is my phone, so I can't use Streamlabs, unfortunately. But I will in the future. Very good program to use. And yeah, so that's Streamlabs. I would highly recommend it. Definitely sign up for the Prime version as well. And there's a lot of customization you can do. A lot of different things that it offers. And yeah, you know, it's all around very good program. You can put a lot of bots in there, like if you want it to like thank people and when they get you a follow or subscription, or you know, they donate, all these other things. Really cool service, Streamlabs. So that's OBS, that's Streamlabs. There's other services out there that you could use to stream. These are the only two that I kind of, you know, understand at the point in time. But yeah, it depends on what you're looking for to use, but both of them are pretty much the same. But Streamlabs is definitely more interactive in the sense of you can do a lot. This is for Gabby, real quick. Gabby in the chats. You see that? What number is that? Cool. Anyways, so that was Streamlabs. We went over OBS and then now the Streamlabs. So, yeah, now we're going to go into the settings of things. Let me just get my notes real quick. Cool. Nice. So this is going to be probably the, before we move forward, guys, I need everyone in the chats right now. All of my family out there learning with me. We're out here trying to provide a service to you guys. Class is in session. I need all of my students right now. HSD. It's HSD. It's HSD time. So what are we gonna do? Hit tip dip. I need all of my fam out there, all my students right now in session. Hit tip dip. Imagine a professor actually telling you that. We need to smoke something, or you can take a sip of weed, or you know, a dip of nachos, whatever it is. It can. This is our world and yours. Yeah. Nonis, what time is it? Oh, wow. I've been streaming for an hour and 27 minutes. Look at that. Oh, and it happens to be 10:27. What? Let's go. Let's go. Yeah, for those of you guys wondering, I see the number 27 a lot. Or variations of 27, like 72 or 727. Usually 27. I see it about, like, on average, 27 times a day. I've done the math. It's a weird thing. Weird occurrence in my life. 727. Oh, man, it is. Ah! You see that? I'm telling you guys, it's a thing. It's a thing. On my 27th birthday, I love this one. On my 27th birthday, I went to Dallas, Texas to play a show for Grindfest, and my hotel room, mind you, my birthday is on 7/27. I was turning 27. The hotel room that I was in, 7/27. We out here. Either I can tell the future or I'm crazy. One of the two. Or maybe a mix of both. Probably a mix of both. I'll go with a mix of both. Hey, hello. Hello. Hi. Okay. So we got two more things. We're going to go through the settings and we're going to talk about which are the best platforms to stream on. And that's it. Okay. Wow. Average watch time, 7:27. Okay, cool. Anyways, we're gonna move on to the next section here, which are the settings of OBS. So let's get that for you guys ready. See, are you able to see the settings? Yes, you are. Cool. Actually, I'm just gonna put it on the other screen just so it's easier. So what do we do, guys? Oh, well, first we press OK. And then we are gonna go to main screen. Where's my main screen? Yes. We're gonna double click that. We're gonna go here. Put that there. And then we're gonna bring up the settings. The average watch time went down, by the way, just if anyone's noticing. Okay. Paranoid. I don't know, man. I don't know, Helion. You're just not a believer. Peace out, Adam. Much love for tuning in, always. All right. I'm just going to bring this down. Doot. Oh, yeah. You're going to see my wives. Anyways. So, this is the settings section of OBS. We're going to go through it one by one. This is where you guys need to take notes because we're going to go through some very important things, which a lot of people in the chats were mentioning before about them having a good PC and the CPU going crazy. So, we're going to go one by one through the settings, all these little things, talk about it in detail, and you guys are going to see exactly my settings. This is the bread and butter, guys. Maybe some of you guys are tuning in just for this moment here, so highly recommend you guys take those notes. But here we go. So this is the general settings, right? Nothing really over here that you want to change, but obviously whatever language you need. Theme dark, because dark on the inside, you know what I'm saying? I'm crying on the inside every day. Just kidding. Over here, the output. You have a couple things here. The only thing that I have checked off is automatically record when streaming, because I do upload this to my Patreon YouTube. So that's the only other thing that I click on here. This is all pretty much whatever you guys need it for. So, yeah, depends on whatever floats your boat. Down here, I don't really know any of this. I never changed it or anything like that. So you could just leave it like that if you guys want to copy the settings that I do have. I think these are the default ones, to be honest with you. But enable 10 for snap sensitivity, and then the 2 for top ones checked off. A lot of these are just for projectors, system tray, preview, all these stuff. Like I said before, if you need it, you got multi-view here. I have them all clicked off. Horizontal top 8 scenes. Once again, this is probably all default. The only thing I changed was automatically record when streaming. All right, so that's general. Nothing too crazy there. Memes are your language. Well, good luck with that. Here is the stream little key things. Since we can't see it here, I might just pull it up on Streamlabs. But over here, on OBS, you would have service. You click down here, and it'll show you all the different services you would be able to stream on. Then, obviously, this server would be the primary YouTube. This is what I'm using. If you're using Twitch, it would be that. And then the stream key that is provided. I'm just going to pull this up real quick for you guys so you can see what I'm talking about. Let's see. Could I show you guys what the stream key is? Probably not. No. Yeah, so over here, you have the stream key. You can just copy that, and you put it into over here where the stream key goes. Pretty straightforward. It won't stream to the platform unless, this information is correct. I'm going to pull up Streamlabs real quick just to see if we could give you a better example of what that section looks like, because it is almost similar. So over here, Streamlabs, the settings. We go to stream. So this is the way that it looks on Streamlabs, just a little different. So this is what it would look like on OBS right here. The good thing about Streamlabs is that it gives you the option to kind of have everything already connected, like YouTube and Twitch. But since I don't multi-stream a lot, I just just pick one. But over here, You have streaming services, YouTube, Facebook, Restream, Twitter, Lucra Live. I've never even heard of that. Twitch. You click one, whichever one it is. You click the server. Let's say you're doing Twitch, which is the other one that you use. You would want to pick the server closest to you. So you would pick like New York, and then you would copy and paste the stream key there. What's up, Motar? Hello. Shout out everyone still in the chats with me. We're getting through this. So yeah, that's pretty much it. You put the stream key in there, and that would be that. So that's how you do that. So we're good with that. I said that many times. We're going down. So that's stream. Output. Now, guys, I'm going to need you to take out your notes if you don't already have them. And this is what you want to copy down. So I think I mentioned someone mentioned before that they have a good PC, but the CPU was too much and it was just overrunning on OBS, didn't make streaming possible. So guys, here it is. What's up, Billy Bob? Yo, thank you for purchasing from the merch site. I appreciate you, bro. Merch site is open, by the way, guys. We'll talk about that a little later. But over here, there's going to be two settings. There's going to be like basic, general, and there's going to be advanced. You're going to go to the advanced, and here we are. These are different tabs. This is the streaming one. This is pretty much the settings that are going to be put into place for your content to be streamed on whatever platform, the quality of it at least. So for the most part, depending on your encoder, so this is like what like your graphics card. There's different options for me, but I usually go for the X264. Okay, this also depends on your computer and what your setup is, but this is usually always an option for the encoder. Encoder is pretty much how like it breaks everything down so you can like send it off to the internet world, so it's good. Audio track is always set at 1. Well, I did at least. Let's see. The rescale option, you want to put it like 1280 by 720. Rescaling is pretty much how it's going to look when you stream it out to a different platform. So you want to put it at that. You don't want to do 1080 by, you know, what is the 1080 by 720 or whatever the fuck it is, because not all platforms can rescale it like that. It's always best to do it like this. Check out rescale output. This is a very important section. You want to make sure that the rate control is CBR. What's CBR? I have no fucking clue. And most of the videos that I watch, they're like, we have no fucking clue. But it has to do something with, let me see if I can remember. Yeah, I have no fucking clue. But they said to do like this. So, yeah. This, though, the bit rate is pretty much how, you know, the data needed to pretty much create everything to send it off. The bit rate is very important. I keep it at 2000, but this is all depending on how fast your computer is. So, but I keep it at 2000. Usually that's like the norm. You could go up to like 6000, but like it just takes up more CPU. So I just keep it at 2. And I feel like the quality of the streams are pretty good like that. The keyframe and interval, 0. You gotta keep that at 0, all right? The CPU usage. So pretty much, this is also very important. A lot of people don't have this setting correct. The higher or the faster things are, the less CPU it's using. This is pretty much using your GPU or whatever the fuck that is. But I keep mine at super fast. That's mine. Right below ultra fast. If you have a good computer, you can probably do it at fast or faster or very fast. But I noticed that the stream kind of like sometimes doesn't look the best that way. You want to use as least amount of CPU as possible, especially if you're playing video games or if you're like, you know, just streaming something from online. Less CPU, the better. All right, class? Over here, the profile, you want to keep it at none. I think originally default, it might be at baseline, but keep it at none. Tune, none. Over here, options, none. There's some videos out there that tell you different like tips and tricks. You can put this here to make it slower. You know, let's not worry about that. So that's that. This is a very important setting as well. This is recording. This is for me. I record all of my streams so that afterwards I can like use it as content or upload it for my Patreon, YouTube, like I mentioned before. So over here we have the recording path. So this is where your video is going to be saved. You can select whatever folder that you've created. I have mine in my videos, so it goes right there. Now, over here you would have an option to choose what recording format you would have. So for example, let's see if I can actually pull it up on Streamlabs so you guys can see it. Let's see. Where is it? Well, I guess I can't find it on maybe I could, but I don't want to waste time looking for it. But anyways, MKV. So this this recording format pretty much tells you what kind of format you want the video to be saved in. So the two types of formats that you're really going to be looking out for are MKV and MP4. Now they're going to give you options for MOV and FLV and all these other types of formats. Now the reason that I choose MKV over MP4 ideally is the video format that I would like to use, but unfortunately it is very yes, allergies. But what was I saying? Don't interrupt the class. I always wanted to say that. What was I saying? Okay, yes. MKV, when you're recording in that format, let's say your computer crashes or something happens, you are able to recover that file, which comes in handy. Let me tell you, because you never know when you're gonna have a power surge or your computer's just gonna like shit out on you, which would happen a lot on my Mac. So I highly recommend using MKV over MP4. Now, the one thing though about MKV is that it's very difficult to kind of, actually you can't really edit that video, MKVs, for some reason. You can't do it in Final Cut and you can't do it in Adobe Premiere. You can't do it at all. So what you have to do is once you have the MKV file, you have to convert it to MP4 so that you can either, edit it, or if you want to just get the audio from it or something like that. But yeah. That's the main difference with MKV and MP4. Both qualities work well. You can both find like media players for them, but MKV, you can't really edit it on any editing programs. You have to convert it to MP4 for that to work. But you can upload MKVs up to YouTube, no problem. So, and if you're interested in knowing how you can convert it, well, I'm just gonna do a side tangent real quick. This is VLC Media Player. I highly recommend everyone downloading this and having it just as a media player in itself. This would be able to play everything, but not MKVs. MP4s, MOVs, AVIs, MPEGs, whatever the fuck it is, it'll play it here. The way that you would do it is pretty much you go to the media, you go to convert and save, you add a file, whatever it may be. So I'm just going to pick this one. It's probably like a house thing. Open. Once it has it selected, you want to go to convert and save. And over here, it gives you different options. You want to make sure that you have the H.265 plus MP3, MP4 video. This is the best format that you're going to have. And yeah, so then you're going to browse to where you want it saved. Usually I save it to another folder just so I know. And I usually add like a period at the end just because sometimes it's hard to find the file if you don't change it a little bit for some reason. And you just do that. And you press save and you press start. And it'll pretty much convert the MKV into an MP4. Pretty nifty trick if you ever need to do that in the future. But anyways, so that is the difference between MKV and MP4. If you feel like, you want to risk it for the biscuit and use MP4, you are more than welcome to do that. But for the most part, MKV is the best. All right, so down here we have the audio track 1 encoder, like we had it for the streaming. It's pretty much the same, X264, and the rescale, same thing, 1280 by 720. Over here, this is pretty much how the video quality is going to look once it's actually finished with the stream. So CBR is the same. I put the bitrate a little higher just because I want the quality of the video to look a little better. But over here, the same thing, 0. We have this as super fast like the other one, none. And just a quick thing, I'll show you guys what the quality of a stream looks like once it's complete. So let me just see. I guess we can just, yeah. I'm just going to make sure.
29th of November, 1989.
Boom. Cool. So this is something that we recorded last week. Yeah, last week. And yeah, there you go. Everything looks pretty solid. Looks pretty good to me. You know, if anything, probably like could be a little better. Looks a little grainy, but all in all, pretty good. Pretty good. Obviously, we're still learning the tips, you know, the inner workings of all this, but in my opinion, it looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. So that's that. The audio. Yes, audio is very important. You want to make sure that it's all 320. Why isn't it all 320? I have to change that. But 320 is always the highest quality. I have to go back and switch this. I think it like changed on me. But yeah. And then replay buffer. No idea what that is, but I don't think I use it. So that's that. That's the output. Very important section, guys. This is going to help you be able to stream using the least amount of CPU and also stream the best quality video to whatever platform that you're looking for. Okie dokies. Here we go. This is pretty self-explanatory, the audio. I think 48 kilohertz is the best to use, stereo channels. Yeah, and then you want to just like leave this like default, most of it default. It'll like know what audio card or what you want it to be, kind of like what you want the audio to stream from, right? So either the blue snowball, or I also have let's see, what is this? This is the audio card that I use for my mixer. That's also connected, so I would switch to that. But right now, we're not going to do that. We're going to keep it on this. And that's pretty much it. Everything else is disabled. We only have this one enabled. That's pretty much it. And then I have no idea what that is, but yeah, I use this, I think, or that. I don't know. We're not going to save the settings, so it's okay. So the next thing is video. You want to make sure this is 1920 by 1080. The base canvas, this is pretty much what you're seeing. The output resolution, 1920 by 1080. Downscale filter by cubic. Sharpen scaling 16 samples. I have mine at 30 FPS. That's usually the go-to. Over here we have hotkeys. If you ever want to use the hotkeys to like pretty much move to a scene, or you know, show something that you already have in one of your scenes, like you can see here, you know, show GRAMGREENECAM mobile, or you know, show follow me, all these different things that I already have set up. We would just put it, you know, like a certain letter or number, and then it'll automatically pop up from there. But yeah, this is very helpful when I do my mixing. This is how I switch from one scene to another. If we go the dishwasher, so I would usually put like 1, and then over here 2, and I would be able to switch on the wireless keyboard that I have over there, and yeah, no problem there. So yeah, this is a very handy trick. If you have a Stream Deck, it makes it even easier. But right now we're on a budget, so we don't have that. But yeah. And the advanced settings, here, don't really think I changed anything at all. Yeah, this is pretty much all the desktop settings. So if you guys want to take a look at it, I'll just let you guys know so you can, if you want the same setup that I do. Normal, direct 3D 11. Once again, this is all depending on what kind of graphics card you have. NV12, color space is 709, color range is partial. Do I know what that means? Absolutely not. But we're out here. File formatting, that's looks cool. And yeah, pretty much it. Like, yeah. So that is that. Those were the settings that I primarily use for my streaming. And yeah, I mean, it's been pretty good. I don't know, the streams look pretty nice to me. They sound pretty nice. They work pretty nice. So yeah, that was that section. Hope you guys, were able to soak that in. For the most part, with Streamlabs, it's the same concept. They have like the settings down here. If you just to show you guys, you go down here. All the basic other things that you would need. Essentially, the same kind of settings that you have in OBS. You can just use here in Streamlabs, but I haven't really used Streamlabs in a while, so that's that. And yeah, so if anyone has any questions, put it in the chats. If not, I'm going to get some coffee while you put questions in the chats. And then we're going to go into the last segment of tonight, which is what streaming platforms are the best to stream from. BRB. Excellent. So much love to everyone still tuned in. I know this session was very content heavy, a lot of details, a lot of talking, but I know you guys are out there writing down your notes, and we have made it to the point of the stream to talk about each platform, letting you guys know my personal opinion on which are the best ones to use and why. So I personally, I'm back and forth between Twitch and YouTube. And when I decided to do the streaming thing more consistently back in May, April time, whenever it was, I knew that Twitch and YouTube were going to be the two platforms that I use. Why don't I use Facebook? Well, let me just how do I say this in the most professional way? Facebook fucking sucks. Let me get that. Let me drill it into your head, guys. Facebook is absolute dog shit when it comes to streaming. Now, if you want your brand to grow, if you want, continuity, if you want immersiveness with your with your world, you got to step away from Facebook, especially when it comes to streaming. Okay. Facebook is a great way to get your music out when you're starting off, right? There's a lot of groups that you can put your stuff in. Facebook is an amazing place for marketplace. You can buy stuff and sell stuff there. It's a very good platform to keep in contact with people because of Messenger. But when it comes to streaming, it is absolute dog shit. And Facebook works already. It already works in a way in which it favors the people who purchase ads. That's, how it works. Now, is it the same with Twitch and YouTube? Not really. No. For the most part, they kind of integrate the ads with your platform, where Facebook is weird. Well, not weird, but it's a business. They pretty much favor those who, use their services for the ads and whatnot. Again, just a platform in general, Facebook, when you're streaming, is just terrible to use. The chats and whatnot, it's not a stable streaming platform. And studies show that for the most part, people tend to watch Facebook streams at a lesser, duration time than any other platform, because in essence, Facebook wasn't made for streaming. It wasn't. Twitch was made for streaming, and YouTube kind of brought that component in since they already kind of like have that video content market. But Facebook wasn't made for streaming ever. And not to like, disrespect anyone or say that, this is the way that it should be. Once again, my opinion, my studies, you don't have to listen to me, but Facebook is just not the vibe, in my opinion. The streams that I have watched on Facebook, where they were Facebook exclusive or like they weren't streamed on any other platforms, was just complete garbage. Now, was it because of the streaming platform, or was it because of the person, controlling the stream? That's another thing. But for the most part, I know 100% that Facebook is not the vibe. But people are going to argue with me. They're going to be like, Dr. Professor Milton. But it's like, I get 7 views in Facebook, but I only get 1 or 2 in Twitch. Like, obviously Facebook's popping. I got a whole fucking sold out show. 7 people? Just kidding. It's him, yes. Oh my goodness. These are arguments that people actually have with me. And my counter argument is that, okay, yes, Facebook, a lot of the time with Facebook, you don't build anything. It's not like unless you're using Facebook for the artist page, which is also complete garbage. For the most part, people use it for like that community sense of adding people and becoming friends and that yada yada yada. But for the most part, like, yes, it gives you a platform. There are people who are your friends and they follow your page and your statuses and whatnot. But like I said, Facebook's not made for streaming. And in essence, yeah, you can get 7 viewers in your stream on Facebook or whatnot. But with Twitch and YouTube, if you are consistent with the content, you will get to the point where you have 8 viewers, 9 viewers, 10 viewers. It all depends on how badly you want it, and also the content that you're trying to put out. Okay? Facebook is not the vibe. It's not the vibe. But, I think, so for example, Casey used to stream on Facebook all the time. And, I was always like, which is why I would always stream it on like YouTube or Twitch, because it's just like, I don't know, it just works a little better that way. The platforms are made for streaming. But Casey took my advice. He did the notion that like Facebook's not the vibe, and now she's streaming on Twitch. Once again, it's gonna take a little bit for her to get a following and whatnot, but she will get there. She will get there with persistency and whatnot, and she could use Facebook as a tool to kind of bring people to Twitch. So that's another thing that people should keep in mind. Not always forget about Facebook, because Facebook, I feel like, is always the first, foundation for everyone. And I guess I can do a stream maybe next week or sometime in the future talking about the importance of all the different social media platforms, whether it be Instagram or Twitter or Facebook, whatever it is, kind of like mapping out my course of action. Because I don't think I can really give a good plan to anyone, because like my trajectory has been very unique in a sense, but I definitely have basics that I can like talk to people about. So, but that's for another stream. So we already know Facebook's not the vibe. We're gonna move on to something better. We're gonna move on to Twitch or YouTube. Now, how do you choose from the two? Now, if you already have content on YouTube, let's say you already are uploading things, I would highly recommend using the platform you already have and build off of that. It's what I'm kind of doing with my YouTube page. In essence, though, on Twitch, I also could get the same average viewing depending on what kind of stream it is. But for the most part, it does seem like more people from around the world tend to tune in more to YouTube than to Twitch. So let me go on a rant real quick. Where's my vape? Oh yeah, Gabby, can you get Casey's Twitch real quick so we can put it in the chats? All right, here we go. So, what platform do you choose? Do you choose YouTube or do you choose Twitch? Now, in essence, the underground Riddim world, this Riddim sphere that we're in, or even like we can talk about like, the whole Riddim sphere. When we're talking about that, we're talking about the people who support the Riddim, but they aren't really qualified as Riddim. So we're talking about, the Subtronics. We're talking about, these people in that kind of tier where they do support the underground, but they aren't really considered the underground because of their music and whatnot. They can stream easily on any platform. It don't matter because they already have a fan base that'll go to whichever platform possible. For the most part, in our kind of like region, it was difficult at first to kind of have a consistent following, but at the same time, it wasn't because I was able to build off of what I already had. Which is another thing that I would have to recommend to everyone is just that if you are looking to stream, you need to keep in mind that you have to learn how to talk to yourself. And not only that, but you have to also talk to the people in the chats. You need to become comfortable with that, which also takes time. But you need to have content that is unique enough for people to want to watch you for, how many hours on end. Or if they want to just watch you for 2 minutes or whatnot, you need to stand out in a sense. And it's just hard. It's hard to stand out. And, I'm in my room all the time kind of like wrapping my head around ideas that like I probably wouldn't implement. But I'm like trying to think of ideas for you guys when you guys are asking me like, hey, like, how do I get more of a consistent following on Twitch and YouTube? Like, which ones do I choose? So I would like, that's why I'm all right. If you already have content on YouTube, you have the following there, use YouTube. If not, I would probably recommend Twitch, and try that out, depending on the content that you're trying to do, because in essence, what is a good consistent following? What is, the good norm for views in a stream for the people in our kind of Riddim sphere? I'm not talking about gamers. I'm not talking about people outside of like our world. I'm talking about the people in our community. What is a good average kind of like viewership? And that's kind of hard. That's kind of hard to kind of generalize and give a solid number and be like, hey, this is what it is. You should have this many viewers in your chat and the chat rate should be like this and all that. I don't know, but I think that once you have a consistent following, you always will see the same kind of like number of people and the same people in the chats. So I think it's important in any streaming platform. It doesn't matter how many people are viewing it, as long as you have dedicated viewers who are always going to be in the chats, supporting you and also kind of like keeping active and, asking questions and reacting to stuff with you. I think it's always important to have that small knit group of people that you can count on that'll always tune in whenever they have time, instead of kind of focusing on getting so many viewers and trying to get that underway. You need to tackle kind of like the smaller objectives where you get the homies who really support what you do and they're about, joining you along in this journey. Because when I started streaming back in April, I had fucking no clue what I was going to be doing, but I had all these ideas that I kind of like kept in my mind. And this is crazy. Look at this. This is a note. Like I take notes about everything, right? Whenever I have an idea, I jot it down somewhere on a post-it and I put it on the wall, and it's an idea that I let simmer. And over here, I have all the categories of what I do, on stream. So like dishwasher playset, Gramception, GRAMGREENECAM rewind, feedback sesh, play with Graham Green, mix case, which is now Gramgore radio, ounce red takeover, which we have done a couple times, Gram drip, Riddim 101, which we're doing it now, Gramathought, AMA sessions. So, just these are the things I'm like trying to keep the content original. And I think that's the most difficult part about streaming. And I think it's just about building a brand in general. It's like, how do you stay unique in a world where being unique is kind of difficult because everyone has done everything, in a sense, right? It's such a perplexing kind of thing when you get into it, because you want to stream, right? Okay, cool. Sounds like a plan. All right, so let's get the equipment. Cool, we got the equipment. All right, let's get the software. All right, let's get the layout of what we're going to be doing. Let's set up all the equipment. Let's make sure, everything is working. And then you get down to it and you're like, what am I going to stream? What content? Like, I am absolutely blessed to have done the GRAMGREENECAM for so long, and, collected mixes from the past, and, retained and gained and still learning all this different knowledge about all these different things. Because if I didn't, then I wouldn't have the content to kind of do what I'm doing. In essence, in like 2016, when I really wanted to do this, at first, it wouldn't have worked out, unfortunately, just because I wasn't comfortable with myself as a person. I wasn't comfortable with the brand because it was still rising and growing. I didn't have the content, and I didn't even know how to use the content because I was still learning how to DJ, like in a kind of more professional standpoint at real shows with real equipment, in front of real people. I was also still learning how to use my camera and edit and whatnot. So it was just an idea that I had was just too early. It was ahead of the curve. And I also think that if I did try to implement it back then, it definitely wouldn't have caught as much traction as it does now, because I think you need to bring, like I said, something unique to the table. And I think here on this channel, that's what we do. We bring something unique all the time. But yeah, whether it's Twitch, whether it's YouTube, I think the thing that matters the most is having the content that is unique. Like, for example, Phonon, he's someone in our Riddim sphere that I know streams a lot, and I love it. I've tuned in before to his streams, and I enjoy what he's doing, where he makes a tune from like random noises or things that people suggest in the chats. And then from here, they build on something until like at the end of it, they have a fucking tune. And I think that's a genius fucking idea. Amazing. And I love that he's doing it. And that's such a fresh, unique kind of taste to things. And that's one thing that he does on Twitch. I think Twitch is great when you don't want to create more content on top of it. So in essence, for YouTube, like I said, I don't really think that there's many people who just live stream on YouTube. If anything, if they live stream, they have content, whether it be the live streams that they have had on YouTube and they just like leave it up there, or they clip it up and they upload it, or they have content other than live streaming, like for me, where I have the GRAMGREENECAM and all that other stuff. In essence, I don't know of any just live streamers who just use YouTube like that, where their like page is empty. So in essence, kind of like process of elimination, you're like, okay, well, I don't really have that content, and I'm not looking to invest time into, editing and all that because I can't. So Twitch may seem like the best option for most people. And Twitch is a great fucking platform to stream on. I wish that Twitch weren't so weird. It's just so weird with Twitch. And why is it weird? Well, for me, what I've noticed by using both these platforms, YouTube and Twitch, YouTube is consistent, right? YouTube is consistent in the sense that I know that I'm always going to at least have 15 to 20 people in the chats. Always. Like, this really doesn't matter what I'm going to be streaming. I just know that I have kind of that consistent following, and I love you guys always, and you guys know who you are, who tune in, whether you guys are just chilling, not even like, not active in the chats, or those of you who are, or just like, put it on the side and you're just like listening to what's happening. I appreciate that. And that's a really good thing about YouTube, is that I have that consistent following base. Now, is that influence through my content? Most likely, yes, 100%. I'm not going to lie about that. But there's a lot of people who found out about my page, who are consistent viewers, who found it through the live streaming and then found out about my content afterwards. So With Twitch, however, for my page, it seems as though there isn't really a consistent following except for certain streams. Now, I noticed that on Twitch, the feedback sessions always do very well. So people are always tuning in for those. But if I'm doing a GRAMGREENECAM rewind, people aren't too privy on it. Same thing with Gramceptions. Not a lot of people like to tune in to Gramceptions on Twitch. Twitch, I feel like people enjoy being more interactive with you. And this is just a hypothesis that I have. I'm not really, I'm just trying to like figure out why it's, a little different on the platforms. But yeah, I do think that it's harder for you to get a consistent following on Twitch. This is just me saying that. I don't know. This is just the way that I feel about it. And also, Twitch is only kind of primarily, focused on the people who live in North America and obviously Europe. Twitch is worldwide. But from what I've seen, the difference, the people in my chats on YouTube than on Twitch is that I have a more diverse demographic of people ranging from different parts of the world, whereas Twitch is usually people from Canada and the United States. So that's one thing to think about. What demographic are you really going to be targeting? Because YouTube has a more diverse one, because I feel like more people around the world use YouTube not only for the live streaming, but other content that's on there. For Twitch, it's just primarily, live streaming. That's the only like kind of thing they have. So something to, food for thought. So once again, our Riddim sphere, with this whole COVID and stuff, we're still rising. We're still slowly, gaining more and more attraction towards the music and whatnot. With that, there's obviously going to be people who are more, interested in finding out more about the music and all this stuff. And I highly recommend people to really start streaming, or if not, just look into it, because this is not something, guys, that you can just jump into like tomorrow. You're like, all right, I'm going to set this all up and I'm going to stream. Well, maybe you can do it. If you had some guidance, but I'm telling you, it does take some time to really figure out what you want to be doing, what platform you want to be streaming on, and whatnot. And let's say, for most people, I think the main thing that they're going to be streaming is them mixing. I'm just going to throw that out there. That's my guess. I feel like a lot of people who may be tuning in to tonight's stream, they're, planning on streaming off of their decks, whether it's a controller or CDJs, onto Twitch, YouTube, or Facebook even. Doesn't matter. Yeah, I think that's why a lot of people are like tuned in, maybe. Because I feel like that's probably the most kind of like sought after thing that people do on streaming. For the most part, when you think about artists, Ominous, he had that kind of like production sessions that he would do sometimes, and he would mix. He had that thing that he had the weekly mixes. And yeah, and then like with Subtronics had like the feedback, and he also had like streams of him playing. Blunts and Blondes would like play games. So there's like a different, like, same thing with Midnight Tea would play video games too. Funk Case. Yeah, it's like play games, play music, feedback. Those are like the main kind of like segments that people have for their streams. And sometimes you can build off of that. You can build off of what other people are doing and kind of like incorporate it into your brand and your marketing. Let's see, what else? I'm just going off in tangents right now, kind of comparing YouTube and Twitch. I'm not using like Facebook in this kind of like discussion because, like I said, it's not really the best platform to stream on. Okay, so one thing, like I mentioned before, so a lot of people are trying to look into mixing live. Give me 1 second. Now, for those of you who are interested in mixing online using your CDJs, you're gonna need one of these. Now, what the fuck is this, Milton? Well, let me show you guys real quick. I think I have it. This is a Gemini portable USB sound card. This is what makes it possible for my PC to recognize what's playing off of my CDJs. Without this, I wouldn't be able to play on my CDJs and have direct audio. Direct audio is very important, guys. Not only because you want to provide the best content possible, but it kind of reflects on how serious you are about mixing via live stream. Now, I don't mean to disrespect anyone, but it's people who don't use direct audio and whatnot. But let's say I'm in my car, right? And, I tune into someone's stream. Okay, they're playing. I got it set up to my speakers. And we have direct audio. What's direct audio? Well, for the most part, were you guys present for the show and shell? Where Shivers would pretty much have people go on his Instagram live, do their double, and people would vote on it. For the most part, most people did not use direct audio. When I went on, I didn't use direct audio because I didn't want to set it all up just for Instagram. But that's kind of how direct audio sounds. Probably not as bad as the Instagram, but it's not the best quality. So let's say I'm in my car and someone's going live and they don't have direct audio. Best believe I'm not listening to that. Nope. Throw in the bin. Bye. And that's kind of like 98% of the streams that happen on Facebook. And not to disrespect anyone or call anyone out, but when that happens, I'm just not interested at all. And if I'm not interested, I can figure that many other people aren't either. If you have a DDJ controller, yes. If you have a DDJ, if it's, for the most part, it's a good rule of thumb. If you have to connect your controller to your computer, you won't need a sound card like this. The sound card is already built within the mixer itself, so you're good. But if you're using anything that's kind of like a standalone mixer and whatnot, I'm not sure if the DDJ is or not. I'm trying to remember, but my brain's not working. But if it's a standalone one where, it has its own XLR cords and all that connected to the, then you need this. Now, other people use, this is kind of the industry standard, I would want to say, or I don't know. This is what everyone kind of uses. This is the Focusrite Scarlett 2nd generation. This is a sound card. A lot of people use this because of producing, which is a good sound card for production. If you have monitors and whatnot, this comes in handy. So if you're going to be producing as well as mixing live, this is definitely something that's very handy to pick up. But oh, thank you. Shout out shirt. This is 1 out of 100 made. Woo-hoo. Very happy I got it. But yeah, this is the Focusrite. A lot of people have this. If you have this already, then you're already ahead of the curve. You can connect this to your CDJs, and it'll work very nicely. So yeah, sound card is very important. For the most part, I definitely want to upgrade my sound card, but like I said before, when the COVID hit and everything like that, I was extremely broke, so I didn't have money for a lot of things. This was very affordable. I think it cost me like $45, and I jumped on it right in time because they don't sell this anymore on Amazon. You could probably find it somewhere else, but this was less than $50. Works amazing, and haven't really had issues with it. I've been able to pretty much record all of my live streams, every single dishwasher set with this one. So yeah. You could technically hook up a DDJ or CDJs by using the second master with the XLR to RCA and hook it up to the audio interface. Yeah. it does work. So yeah, that's another thing. But that's kind of how this works, to be honest. Cause fuck. All right, give me a second, guys. We're about to get real interactive here. I'm gonna show you guys exactly how this all set up. All right. So I need to get the big ass long ass cord, so we can take a little tour of the room. Cause as Helion mentioned, that's pretty much the way that this works for my setup, where it has the RCA connected to the second master, and that connects to the sound card, which then connects to the computer and whatnot. But give me a sec. Give you guys a little tour of how my setup works. Just give me. I'm gonna go away for a second, but I'll come back. I promise. Don't worry. I'm still here. I'm still here. Hear me breathe. You can hear me breathe. I'm here. I'm still here. Don't you worry about it. I'm still here. I know. It's scary. It's scary. Don't worry. I'm still here. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. Watch. Papa's coming back. Papa's back. What's up? All right. So we are good. So yeah, let me give you guys a little. Oh, sorry, the mic. I forgot the mic is gonna be a difficult thing, but I'm gonna explain everything before I go through the little tour. But this is pretty much where my PC is set up. That's my PC right here. I have another PC, but that's for other things. My side hustle. That PC is actually better than the PC that I use, but that's for another time. So anyways, that's where my PC is. My decks are on the other side, as you guys can see over there. So you're not going to be able to hear me for a little bit, because I'm not going to be by the mic. But I'm going to show you guys where the wires go. And yeah, let's do it. Yes. Well, let me put this down. So that was like a little janky tour, if you guys could see that. But that's the pretty much the wiring of everything that I have. I don't know if that was, I should have had the microphone, but that's pretty much how the wires end up to the other side of my room. And that's how I'm able to have the audio card right in the middle, connects to the decks that are over there. Yeah, maybe next time I'll have a better setup so I can show you guys how it actually works. But that was pretty much a little tour of the wires. It's a lot of wiring too. That's one thing. A lot of RCA cables if you're going to be connecting the CDJs and whatnot. Essentially, yes. Yep. And that's also kind of like the same way with my audio card, but I don't use the XLR port. It's just RCA to RCA connects to the line output, which is here. So once that connects RCA to RCA, second master, and yeah, then it works pretty well. All you gotta do is like make sure that the audio is being taken from the sound card. I'm gonna do some more research to see if I can find any sound cards that are out there that are affordable. But yeah, glad I got that one. Yes. So interface used for producing can be used for mixing, 100%. And I feel like that's a good thing because a lot of producers get that, for their production, but then they could also do it for their mixing as well. And then, yeah, that's pretty much it. Like, to kind of like sum up, Twitch, YouTube, they're both very versatile programs. Same thing with Facebook. I'm going to be honest. If it weren't for Facebook, Graham Greene wouldn't be where he is right now. The first couple years of my journey started off with Facebook. Like I said before, Facebook is a great platform if you're trying to get your music out there, like mixes, and you're new to the scene and you want to get to learn about the community and all that. It's a great place that has a lot of information all in one place. Is it organized? Not really. Is it easy to use? It's kind of janky. But it is kind of like a standard for a lot of artists, especially starting off. So I'm not trying to condemn Facebook completely. It's just, for me personally, it's a very toxic kind of world out there in Facebook. And, it is, like I said before, it is not optimal for streaming. I think they're trying to make it optimal for streaming because they recently purchased Mixer, which was another platform that people used to stream on, but they purchased it. So I think they're gonna reamp their streaming next year or something like that. But yeah, Facebook is great to use if you're starting off, if you're trying to get your music out there, and yeah, it's a good platform to like build off of. And a lot of the time you want to use cross promotion. So in essence, I use Discord, which is very interactive with my people. Usually I post things up first in the Discord. I post to like my Twitter, depending on the stream, my Facebook, and Instagram, Snapchat, which is, a lot to kind of like manage. But it does help because cross promotion is kind of like a very important step into building a following, especially if you're brand new to the platform. So you're going to have to, for the most part. I remember when I started streaming back in April, I was posting up a lot more than I would now about my streams and have like more set, like, okay, this day we're going to do this and this and this and this, like constantly posting all the time, reminding people, being more kind of doing the groundwork to have a foundation so that now, sometimes I don't even have to announce a stream. Like I could just go on and I know that my peeps are probably like really happy that I go on and like we hang out, and it's really cool. But yeah, no, it's all good. I understand. It's much more difficult to kind of like explain through words, and also through this you guys are probably like, what, this part of the stream is probably confusing. Definitely would like, maybe I should do like a video rundown of how to like connect your CDJs and whatnot, but that's a lot. Anyways, so yeah, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, cross promotion is very important when you're starting off, whether it be with YouTube or whether it be with Twitch. I still use Facebook. Facebook is a great way. Facebook is a great way to kind of get your stuff out there. Like I said before, it's just a very toxic place, so I don't really like to use it. Instagram is a versatile platform to use for streaming, but it does, it is a little biased. Once you can't use this, it's crazy how important that swipe up feature is. So on Snapchat, they have that. It doesn't matter like how many people like you're friends with on Snapchat. I think Snapchat is like a very like similar equivalent to Facebook, where it's not really much of like you're building more of like a network in essence. You're not building a following. Yeah. So with Instagram is a great platform, but without the swipe up, it's weird. Like, people are more inclined to follow a link that is there right there where you can just swipe it up rather than going to the bio for the link. It's just classic human nature where we just like are lazy to do things. But if you do have that kind of that following where you make it past 10,000 followers, I think Instagram is probably the best platform to cross promote to, especially if you have like, you know, more than 10K for sure. Definitely a very good platform to use. Snapchat is great as well as a platform for cross promotion, especially if you're active in it. A lot of the times with Snapchat, it seems like people are, you know, usually like friends, close friends and whatnot. I don't use Snapchat too much. I used to a lot back in the day. And I think for the most part, I use all of these applications a lot more back in the day. And that's one thing too, like is evident with the streaming with Twitch and YouTube. Like I definitely did it a lot more. Like when I started off, it's always like you have to put in the most effort at the beginning so that later on you can kind of like take a step back and see the results of everything. Ooh, 827. Sorry, I missed it. But it's okay because we got 27 likes. Was good. Doom, doom, doom. Thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate it. If you guys have any questions, put them in the chats. It could be about anything. It doesn't have to be about streaming. It could just be about any curiosity you may have. We're going to start wrapping it up. But yeah, I'm just like going on a tangent about these platforms and which are the best to use. Yeah, so make sure to like the stream, subscribe, tell your friends. We're out here. So yeah, Instagram, very versatile if you have that following. Snapchat, more of like an intimate close friends kind of thing. Good platform to use as well. And then you don't need kind of like a certain amount of followers to have that option to click right away to the link. Twitter is literally an application that is so difficult to kind of like get the hang of. And if you do, good shit. For the most part, I still haven't really figured out how to use Twitter to my like advantage. I think it's just more or less like just word vomit, kind of like people just speaking out of their subconscious, like a personal diary in less than 140 characters. Twitter is also very toxic. For the most part, whenever I post about my streams, there really isn't much of a reaction to it. For the most part, whenever I tweet, you know, it's very like inconsistent on the, you know, whatever I may tweet is very inconsistent with the reach and whatnot. I don't know. I don't really like Twitter too much. But I do use it to cross promote. I do like usually post, cause you know, it doesn't hurt to post in an extra like app if you already have it and you have the following. But yeah, Twitter is like the weirdest one. That's the one application I've been stagnant on, you know, as opposed to like all the other social media platforms except for Twitter and Facebook. My following has just stopped, and it's more or less because I don't really like using them. But yeah, you know, use all the kind of like available platforms that you have to kind of, you know, get that following out there to let people know that you're streaming, especially. A very quick tip. I was very fortunate when I started streaming to have the content to bring people into my stream. So I think the first stream that I did was like extended content of Shivers playing in Montreal back in 2015. And I also had Shivers in the chats. So, you know, it was kind of like people were like, oh shit, like, and I brought like 30 people into the chats, which ended up kind of being my average for the most part with some of my streams. But yeah, I had the content. I cross promoted a lot. I like told people about it like weeks prior, built up the hype, and was able to provide content that was interesting and unique enough for people to continue to tune in. For the most part, when I started, I only used Twitch, and that was purposely done because I wanted to build a following on Twitch just in case I ever had to like go back to it, because I already had the subscribers on YouTube, but I didn't on Twitch. So we started off at 0, just like everyone else. And I think the last time I checked, we were like at 1.2 thousand, like 1,200 followers on Twitch, which is amazing. I appreciate you guys for supporting that. And that's great because, like, you know, we started off in April and now it's November. Barely, it's not even a year yet. So it's crazy. You know, I just want to check. For the most part, guys, I don't really check numbers. I don't at all. It's unhealthy. It's really not something. I do it for data collection for my own kind of, all right, this is how it works and all this stuff. But I try to avoid the numbers because you really get like lost in it. But every now and then I check just to see.
Since you can't be live to greet new viewers 24/7, create a trailer to welcome
So
them.
we
This
actually
happening right here
at-
is a channel trailer.
Let's see.
The first thing you should do is introduce yourself and tell them
We're at
why you
1.3
stream. Sup, fam? I'm DJ Wheat, an esports
1,300
commentator, a
followers.
talk show host,
Amazing,
and a
guys.
game streamer.
That is,
I love
I'm
building
so
community,
happy.
making friends, talking about
Thank you.
pop culture, and having fun.
But
And that's why I
through
stream on Twitch.
consistency.
Viewers
We
can't
make sure
watch
to
if they
set up
don't
a
know when you go
schedule
live,
in
so
which
make
we
sure
be
you tell
streaming
them
every
what your
single
schedule
day.
is.
And
I
then
stream
sometimes I would
Monday,
stream for
Wednesday,
10 hours,
and Friday
12
at
hours,
6
I
a.m.
keep
Pacific
going and going
with the
and going.
occasional bonus
There was
stream
no
on the
stopping
weekend.
me when I
You
started
can find my
streaming
full
because
schedule and more
I needed
info about
to
me
build a
in the panels
consistency
below.
with
Give
the-
viewers a
with my
taste of
followers.
what your
I needed
channel's
to show
like
them,
by
this is the
adding
content that I
some
have,
clips
I
and
have a lot of
highlights.
it. So we're gonna be building here. This is worth your time to tune in. To
I brought
Grand
one of
Green
my
Cam.
very
That's
own
kind of
chickens
the
here.
vibe that I went
And most
off.
importantly, make sure your
And
trailer is no longer than 60
I think it worked
seconds.
out. It worked out because like I said, there's certain segments that I have on GRAMGREENECAM television that work better on Twitch than on YouTube. So I just like bounce back and forth, which is great because, I have two platforms that I have a following on. So I'm able to just choose at my own like leisure which one to use. Obviously, I prefer YouTube. I do like Twitch because of the emotes and the whole subscription kind of thing. So I definitely should be streaming a lot more on Twitch because of that. But I think YouTube also offers kind of like subscriptions and emotes that I need to look into as well. But yeah, that's it. Let me think. Let me see if What was loud? Oh my god. Was this guy talking? I hate this guy. Who's this guy? I'm sorry. I ruined your ears for like a minute. It was this guy. Fuck this guy. I don't care. Leave me alone. Sorry about that. But yes. I don't know what else I was saying. Hey, what's up, Small B? My baby, Small B. I love you. So that's pretty much. Let me just look. I think that's everything that I have on the streaming stuff. Yeah. All right. Well, we're gonna wrap it up. If you have any questions, once again, put them in the chat. But we're gonna wrap this one up real quick. Well, not real quick, but we're gonna have the last tangent of the night. Thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you learned something. Make sure to give this stream a like after the video's done. Go and give this stream a comment. This is gonna be uploaded forever. Will stay on my page just like the other one. So show some support, please, and come back to it if you wanna find out any information. Tomorrow we'll have the timestamps and all the links available for all the things that I discussed. Alrighties. So, streaming, crazy kind of thing, right? This is kind of where our world is nowadays, especially with this whole COVID and Corona, whatever the fuck you want to call it. This is the world that we live in now. These live streams that are happening. Number one thing that we lack right now in our community with these live streams is original content. That's it. I feel like, and I think that's why a lot of people are hesitant to stream, because they're like, I don't know what I can stream, right? So I think this is something that a lot of people need to, really sit down about, maybe take some shrooms about it, or some acid, or some DMT, whatever floats your boat, and kind of figure shit out. That's what I do. But I don't condone that. Not saying that you should do it. You could probably achieve that just by meditating. But yeah, you know, I think one piece of advice that I want to give to everyone out there is if whatever you're trying to do streaming wise, make sure that is top quality. A lot of people, you know, throw these online shows, you know, through Twitch and YouTube, and how sometimes I wish it were better. Like, I cry sometimes, like, not, you know, not to put anyone on blast, but, you know, there was a stream recently that honestly, like, it made me so sad to see how bad the stream was managed, because it made a lot of the artists' sets just not work out. Like, you know, people who were in the chats, they got a subpar stream of the artist, and it kind of, like, you know, it sucks. It sucks to be someone who invests their time to make a set, and for the most part, these people aren't getting paid, so they're investing their own time and energy into making a mix, you know, recording it and getting everything right, because, you know, recording and, you know, getting all the audio and together is a whole other thing besides streaming. So, and then, you know, then when they have this moment of the spotlight where their stream is getting streamed, or sorry, where their set is getting streamed, and it's a subpar stream, it just sucks, and we don't like that. So we need to get better, guys. We need to do better, and especially if it's not like the first time you're doing it, and it's your multiple offenses. When, you know, there are ways to make it work, you know. I would never in a million years, and like, guys, when that whole Grindfest stream happened, the one that I threw this past summer, there was a point in time where the stream stopped, and then, like, Nug's set played over again. Let me tell you, guys, I was extremely mad. I almost, like, the people around me, I told everyone to, like, step away, because I don't get angry that easily, but I was so angry at that because I put in so much time and effort into creating that whole set, the whole stream, sorry. And they were streaming it, the Grindfest people. They wanted to do it themselves, even though I was like, I can do it. They wanted to do it, so I was, all right, whatever. This is kind of like a collaboration. So, and the power went out over there, and, you know, then the stream was kind of fucked up. And, like, you know, obviously it didn't really affect the stream too much because people got to see Nug again, which is, you know, a win-win for everyone. But at the same time, it was just like, fuck, this is reflecting off of me. And not everyone in the chats knows that it's not by my hands. You know, it's by the people who are streaming it in fucking, like, Texas, and I can't do anything about it but get on the phone and bitch and moan about it. It sucks. It sucks. So we need to do better. We need to do better. And, you know, shout out Grindfest. I don't want to, like, you know, throw any disrespect or anything like that. I love them. This literally was just the universe just playing a trick on me, because, you know, they never have power outage. Oh, they do, but, like, obviously when my stream is happening, they have a power outage. Classic Milton shit. Something out of your control, right? But what's in your control is making sure that the stream is a consistent stream, because at the end of the day, if it weren't for that power surge, everything would have worked perfectly fine. That stream was amazing. Everyone loved it. And it still is one of the best, like, live streams that happened this year. Not to toot my own horn, but it definitely was. So Grindfest did an amazing job helping me, you know, give it a platform to put it on like that. But yeah, you know, it really pisses me off when people have the control to make it optimal, but then they don't. No, I don't like that. I don't like that at all. So we need to change it. And I think I'm hoping that this stream will help educate people and, you know, give people the motivation to look into more of what they need to do to, you know, properly have a good stream that will not only reflect positively off of them, but also give the artists the limelight that they deserve. 'Cause, you know, that's what it's all about, right? What else do we got, guys, during these times? You know, people are playing shows. Okay, cool. Play your show. Like, I'm tired of, you know, repeating the same thing over and over again about how I feel about these things. I don't think shows should happen, but whatever, they're gonna happen. But at the end of the day, I'm going to be doing what I can in the absence of, you know, the shows, because I'm not playing shows until unless someone's gonna pay me like $3,000, guys, I ain't playing a show. And if you see me on a lineup in the near future, or like let's say a month or two, just know that they paid me $3,000, because that's the only way I'm playing a show. That's it. Or if it's drive-in, those are the two factors: a drive-in show or $3,000. So if it's not a drive-in show, guys, and it's an indoor show, and you're like, oh my God, what is Milton doing? Why is he doing this? He's a hypocrite. Then think to yourself, oh wait, they probably paid him $3,000. So, but yeah, like Obsolete mentioned in the chats, it gives a good look for the artist, for the scene as a whole. And that's another reason why it frustrates me that people are throwing shows, because it gives us a bad look. And it's just, I don't think people should be happy about selling out a show during a pandemic. I don't think that's the vibe. When I played a show in Rochester, that was the last show I played this year. That was going to be the last one. I really needed the money. But me and my manager were very strict about everything. We're like, very limited capacity. We don't want to, tell people that we don't have, like, because it did sell out. But guys, it was only 50 people. My manager was very strict. He's like, we're not having any more than 50 people. Socially distant. We need security separating people and kicking people out if they don't have a mask. And we need the decks cleaned at all times and all this stuff. And that's, my manager fucking went in on it. And they provided. And it was great. It was a great time. But not everyone's thinking the same way like that. And, I was talking to the promoter who took care of me. And he was also like, we just wanted to make this happen. But obviously they're taking a break now. But, with this whole Corona shit, COVID, all we have is the streaming. And I really hope that, to see more people kind of, dipping their toes into it, because there's only one way to find out if it's worth doing it, and is actually fucking doing it. So if you don't try, then just might as well cry. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much how to stream. We went over everything, all the pros and cons, depending on what program you want to use, what streaming platform is the best one. Like I mentioned before, Facebook is not the best, but very, very, very versatile for many other things, especially cross promotion. Twitch is a great place to start off on if you're not going to produce content. But if you are going to, YouTube is the play. Consistency is key, and being unique is essential. So these are things that you need to keep in mind. I think inspiration comes from other like streamers and whatnot, which is why like it took me a very long time to kind of come up with a lot of these things, because I take inspiration from many different things. Like the Gramception comes from like PewDiePie and him just like reacting to different videos and memes, but instead of that we use other people's live streams and we react to that with all the homies in the chats. Or the GRAMGREENECAM Rewind, where it's like, you watch something, like kind of like that, watch with me thingy or whatever. And then all these different things I've like incorporated from other people, and a lot of things that are unique to us only. Because Gramception is unique to us. I don't know anyone else who's reacting to live streams. Or GRAMGREENECAM Rewind, I don't know anyone else who's going back into their old content and watching it again, and giving like a director's cut kind of thing. But like I'm saying, guys, content, originality, being comfortable with yourself. Streaming encompasses so many different things, but I think for the most part, people are going to be utilizing it for production, for mixing, and it's all possible of doing it. You just need to have the motivation. Keep in mind, tip for either Twitch or YouTube, you're going to start off with 0 followers. That's one thing. You are definitely, if you want, and this is a tip, I didn't really have to use it, but I was ready. You can create another account, another Twitch account, another YouTube account, and then just have that account watch the stream. Because the algorithm works where if you have 0 followers or 0 viewers, the algorithm is going to keep you down below. But if you have just 1, it kind of puts you up. And honestly, like, for the most part, there's so many people streaming. I think that, what was the percentage? I think if you had over 10 viewers in your stream, you're like in the top percentile of streaming, because there's so many people streaming, so many people. It's crazy. So yeah, it's a saturated market, but like it's kind of a new market for us here in the underground Riddim sphere of the real Riddim world, where Dr. Professor Green comes at you with the knowledge. So that's it. I appreciate you guys. Before we leave, I need to do this real quick. I appreciate everyone who has donated, everyone who has purchased some merchandise. We got the store, it's open. We got a couple things, so make sure to check it out. Help me out. We're trying to do more for the family, my actual family. I'm trying to give back more, so I'm really grinding a lot more with my side hustles to be able to just, help them out. They've been so great to me and helping me maintain this whole Graham Green stuff and letting me stay here while, we wait for things to get back to normal. But the merchandise is up, and this always helps me out. So if you guys want to get fanny pack, we got that available. We got a couple shirts, stickers, and whatnot. Anything means a lot. Keeps the channel going and gives me the opportunity to keep giving you content like this. So, anyways, tomorrow we have GRAMGREENECAM Rewind. We're gonna do it on Twitch. We're gonna switch it up a little bit, and we're gonna do it on Twitch. We're gonna see how it goes. You always have to experiment. So I'll see you guys in Twitch tomorrow. I'll post about it in my Discord and whatnot. Fuck leakers. You already know how it is. And one last thing. Tomorrow is, oh shit, did you guys hear about Supreme? Real quick. Supreme company that I like. Over time it's kind of been losing its value, but 2 years ago it was purchased by this group called the Carlyle group or whatever the fuck, for $500 million, and today they sold Supreme for $1.5 billion or $1.2 billion dollars. Do you understand? That is the craziest resale ever. I think the Carlyle group literally bought Supreme 2 years ago to be like, okay, we're gonna flip it. And literally what everyone does, like for the most part, what I do with Supreme is you buy it and you flip it. You just like resell it. So that's literally what the Carlyle group did. They bought Supreme and they resold it for over $1 billion of profit. Like, insane. They're like crazy. So anyways, real quick before we go, good luck to anyone who's going on sneakers for this SB Dunk Low, the veneer. This is a redo of the 2001 Japanese exclusive. They are bringing it to the States now. So yeah, it looks super sick. If I cop it, I'm selling. So it's cool. I like the coloring and whatnot, but I don't like low dunks. I really like the higher top. So if I do get it, I will be reselling it. But that's pretty much that. They Supreme. Yeah. Well, love y'all. Hope you enjoyed. I will see you tomorrow on Twitch for some GRAMGREENECAM Rewind. And